I just put the link in the chat for our meeting sign in. So for those of you who are here so far, you can go ahead and fill that out. And we'll just wait probably a couple more minutes, but then we'll get started. Okay, a few more people have joined. So for those of you who have just joined, welcome. We're going to get started in just a second. I'm going to resend the link for the people who just got here. This is the sign in. If you can't scan the QR code, um, just go ahead and fill that doc out. And just to clarify, we are seeing what I sent in the chat, right? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think we can go ahead and get started. So first, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Lexi. I'm one of the co-presidents of WIA SCAD. We're doing this meeting in collab with APG, the Animation Producers Guild, and we're going to be going over career fair prep today. So we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff regarding interviews, resumes, demo reels, and we're also going to go over the Career Fair Plus app and also what Career Fair is going to look like in person this year, because this is the first time we've had an in-person career fair since pre-COVID. So this is a really big deal, and it's a great opportunity for us to kind of like get accustomed to talking to employers in person and having a lot of those in-person conversations that we've kind of been lacking since COVID, since a lot of things went virtual. So yeah, I think let's just jump into it. Okay, so the first thing is the Career Fair Plus app. So this is the app that SCAD uses to have all of the employers like set their stuff up. So all of the employers that will be at the career fair will be here. So you can either download the app on your phone or mobile device. It's just Career Fair Plus, or you can go to the website app.careerfairplus.com on like your laptop. Either one works. And the first thing that it's going to prompt you to do is log in or create an account. And when you create an account, make sure you click student or candidate because we're not recruiters. And you can sign up with your like personal email, and then it'll have a option to put in your SCAD email on the side. So you can do that, create an account, choose a password, all that. And then once you have your account set up, the front page will be a place to search organizations like you see here on the slide. And so when you search organizations, you'll just go into it and search for Savannah College of Art and Design. And then I think the rest is on the next slide. Yes. So once you search up and you'll pull up SCAD or Savannah College of Art and Design, and it'll have a list of all of the upcoming career or events that they're working with Career Fair Plus on. So right now you'll see the SCAD Career Fair. It'll Friday, February 21st, and it's going to be from 10 to 4. And I believe right now it's being held at the Savannah Convention Center. So that's where it'll be in person. And if you look here, this is also a good opportunity to see other events that SCAD has. So they're also planning a virtual career fair later on in April. And I was looking at the employers that they have, and this is good for animation people. I noticed, unfortunately, in the in-person career fair, the employers they have so far, there's not a whole lot of animation related employers there. I think it's still definitely good that we should be checking it out. But I believe the virtual career fair is going to have more animation related employers and recruiters there. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And also down at the bottom, you'll see it'll show past events like the SCAD resume drop week. That's something they have semi-frequently. I would say like once or twice a year or once a quarter. They do that semi-frequently. So the one there was one that happened in the fall, but be on the lookout because you can also use Career Fair Plus during resume drop week and just have their list of employers there, and you can just click on them and drop your resume. That never hurts. Those are super helpful as well. So then also just to go over the Career Fair Plus website, because it's a little overwhelming once you get into it. But once you click on the Career Fair, it's going to have a list of all of the employers. And on the left-hand side, you'll be able to filter, search, favorite employers. And then on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see all of the information about them. You can drop your resume to them. You can go to their website. You can also favorite them over on that side as well. And if they have any meetings or any like virtual like things in the past, they were also on that side. So far I haven't seen any virtual or like any like meetings because I'm assuming all of them are going to be in person. But that's also good information to know for the virtual career fair. And then the other thing that you want to do on this website, and this is really important, is to make sure you have your user profile and settings up to date. So we'll go into that on the next slide. So when you create an account, it'll also prompt you to do this. But if you have an old account like I did, I needed to update my resume because it was outdated from when I did this last year. So it'll have a spot for you to upload your resume, and it'll also have these buttons on the page, and you just want to hit edit qualifications because that's where you put in your qualifications for employers to see. So that'll have your skills, like, you can say your software and your hard skills. You can also put down your soft skills like collaboration, communication, things like that. So those are really good because when the employer sees your profile on here, they're going to want to see like, what's your grade level? What's your major, what are your skills? So it's really important that you just take the 2 seconds to put that in, so that way if an employer does see your profile, they know who they're looking at.
All right, resumes. Now, this is very important when you find the career fair booth that you'd like to go to. You need to make sure your resume is up to date and is good for their standards. You're going to want to only make sure that you have one page. It's really important that you stick to one page because they're going to go through millions and millions of different resumes, and they're not really going to want to go through the time of flipping through multiple things. You also make sure it's organized and have all of your most important information at the top. Your education, your experience, what capstones you've been a part of, what extra help projects you've been a part of, any animation you've done throughout your career as an animator. Um, as far as like job experience, it's great to have internships as well. Any internships you've done, I would not recommend maybe any like jobs you would put for your high school, like you're working at Starbucks or anything like that. That's nobody's going to really want to see that. And as far as softwares, you want to make sure that you have like the Adobe Suite, Microsoft Suite, which is basically a short term of saying like everything made by the Adobe software company, Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, and then the industry standard animation stuff like Toon Boom, Maya. Put your activities, extracurricular activities you're on. That also looks good, gives you more of an insight on your personality. Um, and your achievements. If you've received any scholarships or any awards, that is a good indicator that you might be someone worth hiring. Yep, name, title focus. You need to make sure your contact information's on the top corner. This is an example from Morgan Eng, story and visual development. She actually just got a PA position at Disney, which woo, very exciting. She was the president before. And make sure you have your hard and soft skills, collaborative experiences, all sorts of stuff like that. That is the most important thing you want on your resume. Here's a few examples. We've got Shannon Halstein, Lauren McKinley, and Mackie Sheriff. Um, Super nice, super neat experience at the top and education with like technical and other stuff and work towards the bottom. It also is good to have your portfolio on there as well, your website, which we will get into that in a minute. All right, demo reel. Demo reels are very important depending on what kind of animator you are or what kind of industry you're wanting to go into. You generally want it to be like 30 to 60 seconds. Have a little bit of instrumental music. Some companies don't really prefer the music, especially if it's loud and boisterous and overtaking of your animation. Especially if you have like dialogue lines or if you're going into a company that has a lot of back and forth talking. You want to be mindful of your volume. You want to keep everything low and avoid use like royalty-free music. I think that's what I have for mine. Have your title card and your work and show usually about as much, don't put everything in there, but put your best works. And I would recommend that you start with your second best piece, followed by your best piece, so that you can get the viewers hooked immediately. Then you can put the rest of your videos and your third best video at the end to kind of keep the viewer hooked on towards the end. Um, it's very important. You can usually put it in the very beginning of your portfolio and resume, or not resume, your portfolio for your website. You can have different versions, like if you're 3D, for example, you can put your best 3D works, put your best 2D works. If you're a technical animator, you can do turnarounds of your models, or if you're a like a 2D puppet modeler, you can have your demo reel be various different types of how you set up the technical side of things. Um, Stuff like that is usually tailored to what people are looking for in particular. All right, here's a few real examples. This one's from Heidi Husband. I don't know if we'll be able to play this one or not, but if you'd like, you can go ahead and check out their portfolio. They have lots of good examples.
There might be a link on the slide before this. Yeah, so where her that's a hyperlink. We might be able to see it there. There we
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, this is a perfect example. Especially I love the Bidoof at the end. That's a fun animation I've seen before. Um, but yeah, that's a good mix of action and adventure shots and some other maybe slow and more personal shots to show a bit of variety of work and what you're working with. We have a few others. I don't know if we'd like to go over those or not. This is Bismarck Fernandez. And this is what a general stop motion demo reel would look like. This is another good example for if you're a technical animator, you would be doing the same thing like this with your 3D models or with your 2D puppet rigs. You'd be showing how they're made, how they work, um, for the company to look at. It's also important to put what you're responsible for at the bottom. Like right here, it shows the project date, the company, who has done this part, what it was for. For example, if you collaborate with someone on a scene, you might want to specify if it's you're the one responsible for the rough animation or if you're the one responsible for the clean animation. That's important too. Or if you've downloaded any rigs or models that you've used, you want to credit the original creators as well. All right. And last but not least, we have Noah Sterling. So this is multimedia directing, producing.
I don't know about you guys, but I think looking at people's demo reels like this is super inspiring.
It really is. No, I love looking at other people's demo reels. All right. That's all we have for today. No, we apologize. It's most likely the Zoom connection. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Grace. And yeah, so as far as portfolios, you want to use a domain that you can buy. Personally, I use Weebly. I know there's a lot of people who use like Portfolio on the Adobe Suite, Squarespace, which is a branch of Weebly. There's a few others that are very nice. Um, to use. Usually buying the domain makes it to where there's no ads and there's no extra things in the way. You want the one-two click rule so that you can see most of your stuff on your front page. You want solid wallpapers. The biggest thing that should decorate your page is your actual artwork itself. You don't want any of these fancy textures or anything on your actual portfolio. It's usually nice to keep like a white or a black, simple, sleek background while you can show off the rest of your work. Yeah, you also do want your resume. You want a about page with professional headshots. Um, Tell a little bit about yourself, and it's important to get into some of the personal bits of yourself as well. Like, don't just have your name, your school, your major, all that kind of stuff. Put a little bit about you and put why you work so hard for what you do. Um, And same thing with your demo reel. You want that to be smack dab in the middle of the center so that that's the first thing people see when they get to your portfolio. All right, here's a good example of a portfolio from Faith Schaffer. This is for background design. Usually you can have your tabs by your most prominent work types or tailoring it to whichever company you would like to apply for. This is a very good example, very nice, sleek background, and this artist is using their artwork to show the beauty of their page rather than the page design itself. Another example here with Charles Cougar. Love this work right here. I love having these different night and day variants. This is more of like stuff that VizDev artists want to look into. The more background stuff you have and the more illustrations, props, etc., character design, the better. And finally, LinkedIn. You also want to make sure that you have a professional photo. Nice photo of Lexi there. Make sure you have your contact information right up at the top. And it's really good to put some of your best artwork in your banner just so that people can have a quick view of who you are and what your work looks like. Um, Place all your school information down, all your job information. And even if you have a few like animated projects you've worked on, you can put those in there as well and have easy links for people to look at there. I personally have a few short films that I've worked on in mine.
Okay, so in-person career fair. So I've been at SCAD for so long that I was there the last time they had it in the career fair in person. So I will tell y'all a little bit about what career fair is like according to what SCAD is saying this time around, plus my experience from last time to help give y'all an idea of what in person will look like this year. So of course, when as a reminder, it's Friday, February 21st, 2025, and it's in the Savannah Convention Center. So upperclassmen are let into career fair first, and they consider upperclassmen juniors, seniors, and graduate students for in-person career fair. They're allowed for the full-time slot. So from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., are all upperclassmen are allowed to come and go as they want. Underclassmen are let in later in the day, so they consider that freshmen and sophomores, and they're allowed in starting at 1 p.m. SCAD encourages all grade levels to go to career fair. But if you're a freshman or a sophomore, you may not have as much opportunity for professional development as you would if you would like just wait a couple years, get your portfolio and your demo reel looking as good as it possibly can be. So that whenever you're looking to graduate soon, you have you have your best foot forward with the work that you're presenting. But it still is beneficial to at least go and see how things are set up if you're curious about it. Um, there are many booths set up like picture right. This is pretty much what it looked like. I volunteered to help work the fair whenever I was there. This is pretty much how it's set up. There's a bunch of booths right next to each other with the curtains separating them and signs saying which company is which. And then at the booth they'll have recruiters or people who are just there on behalf of the company. Sometimes the recruiters will do portfolio reviews, sometimes they won't, but we'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide as well. There's also free parking at the convention center, so if you drive, you can definitely drive to go. However, considering that current students as well as alumni are allowed at this career fair, and it's the first in-person one for quite a while, I would suggest going a little bit earlier rather than later to snag parking because it's probably going to be pretty crowded going in. Buses will also be looping to help transport. That applies for within Savannah. There are buses going around town, as well as buses from Atlanta to Savannah as well. If you want a bus from Atlanta going to Savannah, the deadline to reserve a bus seat is February 3rd, I believe. So if you're interested, make sure to look into that as soon as you can. But if you're in Atlanta, but there's also going to be panels and presentations inside the Oglethorpe Theater at the convention center throughout the day as well. And if you Google SCAD Career Fair, the first link that pops up is the SCAD website, and it talks about the nitty-gritty details, like that kind of stuff, where they say a bunch of information like this, as well as a little bit more, and they talk about what panels will be hosted as well. I'll give like a few more seconds for folks to come in who are migrating over.
I am so sorry for ruining the meeting. No
That's okay.
worries.
So
We're
That's
for
okay.
back.
We're so
future
back.
reference, if
We're
you
so
log
back.
in with your like SCAD email into Zoom, they give you the subscription and you can have like unlimited timed meetings.
Okay, I don't know. I just thought because like, oh, we have SCAD, it should be like through, I don't know. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. We have 24
Okay.
people now, but we had 33 on the call. Uh, are we okay? We're recording again? Perf.
Yeah.
Okay. At least we've got the recording for folks who will be migrating in. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop back into it. So, for preparation, back to it. Make sure to research the employer, as well. If you can, if you know who the recruiter is going to be, because sometimes in under the who the employer is, they'll have the recruiter names. Sometimes if you can see that, it would be a good thing to like look into them just a little bit, maybe like pull up LinkedIn and see um like just a little bit of professional stalking, like heavy on the professional though. But that also might be good to do. But as a backup plan, um, having your resume, cover letter, business card, flat book, um, reference letters would be like above and beyond, but a possibility. I would say for sure have your business card and then also your flat book in a non Wi-Fi way of accessing your demo reel slash portfolio in general. But if you're doing an interview, a good thing to prepare is to be able to answer the following questions. So the tell me about yourself question. Tell me about yourself sucks. It's one of the worst questions ever. But if you prepare, then it becomes a lot easier to have like that elevator pitch ready to go. And then another good question, why this company? That will answer that question will be helpful with the research that you put into it. Like you need to know about the company to be able to know why you would want to work for them. And then how qualified are you for the position? Of course, if they're looking for a motion media designer and you're I don't know, uh what would be the polar opposite? A compositor, I guess. No, I don't know. If you're something, if
Procrastinator.
you would just want to make
I
sure
don't
that
know.
whatever position you're applying to is relevant to what you're interested in, or at least be able to justify why you're interested in the position if it's not similar to like what your major is or what your interest is. Um, and then what are your strengths and weaknesses as well? If it's your strengths, you know, that's an easier question to answer than weaknesses. But for weaknesses, just make sure not to mention time management, procrastination, difficulty working with others, or if you work too hard or give more than 100%. So with time management and procrastination, those two are not great to say because especially in animation, you like in the industry they want people that will be able to meet deadlines and stay on top of their work. So that might be a deal breaker for employers saying that. Difficulty working with others, same dealio. We all know how much we have to work with each other to be in animation, so that's really tough to hire someone who can't work in a team. And then saying you work too hard or give more than 100%, they know you're lying when you say that. like it, even if you do genuinely work too hard, people don't want to hear that. So just try to find something that isn't a deal breaker, that is a weakness of yours that you can then justify after the fact and say that you're working to improve it and working to get better at improving upon that weakness. Um, and then when they say at the end, or if they say at the end, do you have any questions? Make sure you come with questions for the recruiter as well. It looks good to be able to ask questions that come from an informed place, like you asking about the company culture or what a day looks like on the job, things like that. because it shows that you care about the position you're applying for, or just the company in general, that kind of thing. There we go. Okay, and then just some basic milestones, some basic tenets of professionalism. So just make sure that you are dressed in business casual, something nice, but like, I'm sure a full suit and tie isn't necessary there. But also just make sure that you're taking extra care of yourself that day with personal hygiene. Be punctual, like 10 to 15 minutes early if you have a scheduled one-on-one, but also like just make sure to go in with a plan on how you want to manage your time. Shut your cell phone off if you're talking to someone, so that way it looks like you're most present in the moment. And then of course be present and engaged with the person you're talking to. And treating it like a conversation will be the best way to go with talking to recruiters, because just keeping it casual, also being able to talk about your strengths as a potential employee, um, will be a good strategy going into career fair, especially because like these recruiters are talking to so many people that trying to trying to go overboard with like, I can do this and this and this and this and this. Like they probably already have sensory overload being there, so just being able to have a casual conversation with them will go a long way. So be concise with the points that you're trying to make. Like, um, of course, again, they have a lot of ground to cover while they're there, so just make sure to be concise and show off your personality too. Like um recruiters really appreciate confidence and authenticity from people, and then just make sure to breathe. It'll be okay to take a second to think before answering any questions, or like if you're just in a conversation, taking a second to think before responding or following up with an answer, that kind of thing.
Uh, Sorry about that. Additional resources. Okay, so please take advantage of like SCAD gives us a lot of stuff to ensure that we succeed. So here's a lot of stuff you really should take advantage of. Meet with your career advisor, I've met with mine a few times. You'll get emails sometimes when they're doing open advising for your resume at Monty. I think they do it on Fridays at like 10 to 12, and they'll look over your resume with you and speak with you. But if you want something a bit more like personal and one-on-one, you can schedule a meeting through the SCAD portal. I think it's through student information, and it's sort of towards the bottom. And also try meeting with SCADAMP. They especially can help you with a lot of that confidence building, and especially your elevator pitch. Um, I'm doing it on Monday, so maybe you should join your local WIA officer in fixing your elevator pitch for yourself. And also, all the freshmen, I'm talking directly to you. My little finger is wagging at you. Pay attention in Digicom when they are teaching you how to make your website, how to make your resume. Digicom will help you so much in making your resume and putting in things you do not think about, like, oh yeah, I guess I should have a brand.
Tuna, no, 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 you're not doing that. Oh, shit. Are you trying to bite me, Tuna? You little monster.
I think
You
someone's unmuted.
Yeah, but please just listen in Digicom. If that is the one thing you get from this, listen in Digicom, speak to your career advisor. And SCAD is having a lot of events to help us right now. There's Career Fair 101, a Zoom that's happening on Friday. I'm pretty sure they're having a mock career fair at Deloitte on, check the calendar, on Valentine's Day. And you can schedule, and so that'll take a little bit of the stress off you. Please, I want all of you to slay and succeed. So please just use your additional resources. Oh yeah, SCAD importers. Um, Especially the engage your audience. I think once again, freshmen, FYE, I think they make you take a SCADAMP for your thing. Ugh.
I can't talk right now, but yeah, they make you take a scat amp, and especially engage your audience and curating your story is
What you
helpful
doing?
a lot. Is really helpful for sort of practicing your elevator pitch and sort of engaging with employers. It's like super daunting, especially when you're like a scared little, I've never had an art job before. It's really helpful to just sort of like build your confidence. SCADAMP is very helpful for that, and especially like visualizing your brand and understanding who you are as a person. More than once. Yes, you can. You can do as many SCAD-AMP workshops as your little heart desires. And you get a silly little hat and a certificate on your LinkedIn that will show that you have interpersonal hours, which is good, and community training. Yes, you can get a silly little hat. Okay, does anyone have questions?
Okay, I see what you're doing. You know.
Thank you
What's
everybody
that?
for coming to thank you everybody for joining us today. Sorry about the two meetings, but we are shifting over into Q&A time. If there's any other questions that anyone has, please feel free to ask. And other than that, have a great day. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Oh, February 14th. Yes, you're welcome. Katie, do you know more about the February 14th event you were saying with
Yeah,
the career success?
yeah, let me find it. I think if you look for like SCAD extra workshops, let me see. Because I got an email about it. That is not how you spell career.
Tuna? No, you're not eating my trash.
But yeah, it's oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Uh, I I have a link to it. It's somewhere,
Tuna, no, you're not eating that.
somewhere, somewhere, somewhere.
Tuna?
Just letting you
No,
know that
no, we're not
everyone
eating
is
that.
unmuted,
We're not eating
by the
that.
way.
Let me see if I can't. I have the power to do this, right? Yes. Nice.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Um, cool. Okay. Oh,
Oh
I
yeah, and
found
we
it.
can link
Let
the career
me.
fair website. It's should just be like app career fair plus. Let's see, we had it
Yeah.
on the presentation.
Also, we can
Let
make this
me.
slideshow available for the people who are
Yeah.
asking. We'll make this
Yes.
available afterwards.
Yeah. So this is the link for the one in Savannah, and then here is the mock career fair in Atlanta. You basically have to sign up. I think it's I think it's from like 1 to 4, and you sign up. You either go in from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 and things like that. And it's basically to just sort of help you like this is the trial run so that it'll like take the scariness out of it. I signed up
Yes.
for it. You should do it. It says for Savannah, it's happening on Valentine's Day at Deloitte on the third floor. And then in Atlanta, it's happening at 1600 Peachtree, in rooms 256 and 257. So yeah.
And I always make sure to have job alerts pinged so it'll send me any new applications I could send out for my email as well. It's a very good resource. They have all sorts of things from internships to first level opening jobs. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up for the day?
If we want to go back to the last slide too, we can just
Yes.
plug the next meetings that we're going to
Oh
be
yeah.
doing real quick. So
Yes.
you can join our Discords with those QR codes. And you can also follow our Instagrams. WIA SCAD's Instagram is literally WIA_SCAD. And I'm not sure what's APG's.
I think it's APG SCAD
APG.
is what we are.
APG SCAD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then WIA's next meeting will be a couple weeks from now on February 8th. And it will be in person at Monty as long as there are no more insane weather events.
Mhm.
And we'll be talking with a one SCAD student who was actually a intern for Framestore recently, and
Yes.
so talking about their experiences with Framestore as a company. They're a visual effects and 3D animation company, and they do a lot of stuff for advertisements, I believe.
Her work is really amazing.
Mhm.
She's currently on the Obelisk capstone.
That's awesome. So
Yes.
yeah.
I'm a big Obelisk fan. Love it.
And then APG's next meeting is February 15th at 5. It's going to be virtual, and we're going to have
Yeah,
um
I'm just on a Zoom
an
meeting.
internship. It's going to be an internship roundtable with a bunch of previous it'll be with SCAD alumni who have had internships in the past.
Very exciting.
And with that, I think that's everything we have for y'all today. So, but as always, if we will have this meeting presentation and recording posted soon. With the recording, we gotta kind of splice it together a little bit, but we will have it. And then if you have any questions, of course, our servers are always open. Good luck with career fair, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
See y'all
Have a
there.
good weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Little heart.
You.
Bye.